Dany dies, the dragon flies through, looks at Jon, looks at Dany, tries to nudge Dany a little bit, like, wake up, bitch, I'm hungry. And of course she didn't wake up. The dragon becomes angry and he burns the Iron Throne. He melts that shit. Why? They made it seem like he was gonna burn Jon Snow, but we knew that wasn't gonna happen. They are the kings of subversion. They're the kings of that. That's all they do. The dragon burns the Iron Throne instead, which, I don't know why the dragon did that. Maybe he knew that Bran the Broken was going to become the king and Bran can't sit in that heavy ass chair. So he made the throne room handicapped accessible or some shit. All that melted metal made a ramp or some shit. I don't fucking know. Maybe he warged the dragon.
To this day, rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborne. First, we attack his heart.
I don't feel so good.
What up, Bushido Spirit, back with another video. Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 6. The finale, the final episode. Now, I'm not even going to talk about the episode in the way that everybody else talks about the episode. I'm not going to go through any scene breakdown. I'm just going to talk about the show in general and how this season was so underwhelming and disappointing. Let me just give the briefest of recaps. So basically this episode, after killing everybody, Dany talks about world domination. Tyrion is mad that she burnt everybody up despite them ringing the bell, so he throws down his hand of the queen pin. He gets arrested. Jon Snow goes to talk to him and he convinces Jon Snow that Dany is the evilest person in the world. She has more bodies than everybody, so we need to get rid of her. So Jon Snow goes and kills Dany. Now they do show that he is still in love with Dany, so he tries to convince himself not to do it. But they hug each other, then he stabs her in the heart. Several months or weeks later, the Unsullied are mad at Jon and they refuse to let him go. I guess within that time frame, a council was built of all the remaining kings and queens. They were brought together to decide the fate of Jon and Tyrion. Tyrion does the thing that he always does. He talks his way out of a situation. Now, there isn't a king at the moment, so Tyrion was like, hey, why don't we just pick a king? We have the most powerful people at this council currently, the only people that matter. Let's just pick a king, and then that king decides what happens to us. They end up picking Bran, and Bran decides that Jon Snow will be at the Night Watch forever, and that Tyrion will become his hand. And that's pretty much it. Now let's go in. So the creators of the show want me to believe that the Night King wasn't the big bad and Cersei wasn't the big bad, because the way those two died were pretty underwhelming. They were pretty underwhelming how they were defeated. So they want me to believe that those two people, those two evil motherfuckers, weren't the big bad, but it was Dany the whole time, the Dragon Queen. Because you've heard in this episode, Tyrion talk about it. He said nobody has killed more people than Dany this episode. That shit made me mad as hell, because the way they got us to this point made no fucking sense. They rather trick us and confuse us about how things are going to end than to actually write a good fucking story. Everything they did this season was to trick us. This is one of the few shows where a character's backstory, a character's development up until this point didn't matter, didn't have no say on how the shit ended. Think about it. Think about all the things they've done. Think about how they ruined each and every fucking character. Jon Snow's big fight was supposed to be against the Night King, but he never got that opportunity. The writers said that they didn't think that shit was good enough. They wanted to catch everybody off guard and allow Arya to kill the Night King, and that completely ruined Jon Snow. That made his character useless and pointless, because he was the one talking the most shit about defeating the Night King. He didn't want any thrones, any crowns, anything. That was the main reason as to why he didn't care about getting the throne, because he knew that there was something greater out there to fight, and the battles between men did not matter in the grand scheme of things. But when you allowed Arya to kill the Night King, you took that completely away from him, and he became a shit character. Jon Snow didn't do anything heroic. Arya has more bodies than that nigga. Arya didn't even know who the fuck the Night King was until the episode where she killed that nigga. That is stupid. That is stupid. And then they tried to trick us again with that whole scene of Arya in the city, in King's Landing. Rocks are falling all over the place. They showed a white horse in the end. They showed You know, Arya tried to save a family, and that family died because Dany's the mad dragon queen. And that made people believe that, you know what, Arya might kill Dany. You know, she's a ninja assassin, and Dany's gonna be heavily guarded by people, the Unsullied. She got a big ass dragon. So in order for us to kill Dany, we need a fucking super ninja assassin spy person. But that shit didn't happen. That shit did not even happen. So all of that build up, that scene where Arya's running through the city, that shit was pointless. I don't even know why that was there, because that had nothing to do with how the shit ended. Nothing to do with it at all. Jon Snow ended up killing Dany in the most underwhelming way possible. Bitch had no guards. She had a dragon, but you know, Jon Snow is Targaryen, so the dragon wasn't really a good defense. And it's that old cliche, man, you never expect to die by the hands of the one you love. So they spent this whole entire season trying to trick us, trying to confuse us, trying to make it end in the way that we least expect, to make it end in the way that everybody expected it to end. Jon Snow killing Dany. So many people predicted that shit. Stupid. And then before Dany turns into the Mad Queen, they had this whole scene about ringing the bells. You know, if we ring the bell, everybody surrender. Ringing the bell. Ring, 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 ring the bell. And then when it became the moment to ring the bell, I thought that nobody was gonna ring the bell, and that would have made Dany kill everybody. That would have been a better idea. But no, they allowed the bell to be rung, and they make Dany go crazy any fucking way, all to trick the viewers. Shit made no fucking sense at all. Oh, let's talk about Arya and Cersei. Arya's the top body on Arya's list was Cersei for a long time, and she didn't get that body. They gave her the Night King body. That shit, they completely retconned parts of the story to make that happen. Shit was stupid. Shit was dumb as hell. Jaime Lannister, he completely changed himself up. They made a character that everybody hated likable. To just make him hated again, that shit was stupid. So instead of Cersei dying in the most brutal way possible, like everybody wanted to see her die. She's evil. We wanted to see her die in pain, but no, she died into the arms of her lover. Some rocks collapsed on them. I don't understand them, man. I don't understand. And then to top it all off, they make the person that everybody pretty much hates. Like, and you know, matter of fact, we don't hate the character. He's just boring as shit. Like, he became the three-eyed raven, which I guess meant that your acting was fucking wooden. Shit was boring. But they made him the king. So you're telling me that person that didn't do shit, he did less shit than Jon. Motherfucker was dragged everywhere. And he didn't use his Worgen powers to great effect. He didn't use them shits when we needed them the most. Oh my, like, he didn't do shit. And you expect me to believe that he was waiting to become king. He turned down every other role. He didn't want to be the king of Winterfell. He didn't want to be king of anything. He was like, I don't want anything anymore. I don't feel. My life is sad, when Tyrion first talked to him. And all of a sudden, he knew he was going to become king? Why do you think I'm here? That's stupid. Why? Why y'all did that? Why? Sometimes good writing is predictable, especially if you set up things properly. You got the proper foreshadowing. You develop the character in a way that makes the outcome believable, then sure, people will predict it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. This is bad. When you go out of your way to make things unpredictable, this is bad writing. Nobody could predict it because it was bad. This shit's stupid. And Jon got one of the worst endings ever. That nigga is back at the Night Watch. He didn't even like the Night Watch. Them niggas stabbed him. He had to be resurrected. He is at the Night Watch because he killed Dany. And they didn't even bring up the fact that he was the true heir. They did not bring that shit up at all. Everybody that was at the council when they decided on the king was there. Everybody pretty much knew that he was the real heir. Everybody knew that, but nobody brought the shit up. Nobody told them that he was the rightful king, the heir. Nobody said that shit at all. That is stupid. Might as well have made him the king. People like Jon. Despite how bad and poorly written he was this season, people still like him as a character. Way more than Bran. Bran is boring. Fuck Bran. Like, I'm glad this shit is ending, because I don't want to see episodes of Bran as the king. Jesus. Fucking Jon Snow is at the Night Watch. He can't have kids. He can't do shit. He can't get married. He just at the Night Watch. That's his entire life. is there. And then for some odd and strange reason, they made Tyrion the hand of Bran. Bran the Broke. He's now the hand to him. That's supposed to be his punishment for turning his back on Dany. And by the way, the Unsullied are completely fine with this. Them dudes just killed your queen. They just killed your queen and they just cool with that. They were listening to the council. Like a council full of people that didn't fuck with Dany in the first place. What? And then they listened to a prisoner. How was the prisoner coming up with all the ideas? Couldn't they have easily written it so that somebody else came up with that idea? He's a prisoner. How is the prisoner the most respected person in the council? And how did Grey Worm just allow that to happen? And then the dumbest shit ever happened this episode. Also, the dragon did not kill Jon at all. The dragon, Dany dies, the dragon flies through, looks at Jon, looks at Dany, tries to nudge Dany a little bit, like, wake up, bitch, I'm hungry. And of course, she didn't wake up. The dragon becomes angry and he burns the Iron Throne. He melts that shit. Why? They made it seem like he was gonna burn Jon Snow, but we knew that wasn't gonna happen. They are the kings of subversion. They're the kings of that. That's all they do. The dragon burns the Iron Throne instead, which, I don't know why the dragon did that. Maybe he knew that Bran the Broken was going to become the king and Bran can't sit in that heavy ass chair. So he made the throne room handicapped accessible or some shit. All that melted metal made a ramp or some shit. I don't fucking know. Maybe he warged the dragon. This episode was supposed to make people feel nostalgia. It's a final episode is supposed to make people remember the good times. But I couldn't do that because I didn't recognize these characters anymore. These were completely different characters that have done things that were unpredictable. I did not know what the fuck I was watching, man. And the setup they took to get here, the fact that Sansa hated Dany from jump made no fucking sense to me. Like the fact that everybody knew that she was evil right off bat, even though this bitch has lost 2 dragons trying to save y'all ass. She came to help y'all fight against the Night King, and y'all won. Without her army, you motherfuckers would have died immediately. But nobody counted that, put that on the scoreboard. They forgot that shit. She lost a dragon saving Jon Snow, stupid ass. What more does a bitch have to do to make you respect her? And despite all of that, there were people like Varys and Sansa and Arya that still were like, that bitch crazy. Like, how you know she crazy when she saving y'all? She admitted to being in love with Jon Snow, but yet she's still crazy. She gonna go mad. Like, oh my fucking God. So in the end, the big bad was not the Night King. The Night King was trash. One of the worst villains ever. That nigga walked up all cool. The only thing epic he did this whole entire show was throw that fucking javelin into the dragon. That's the only thing he did. Other than that, he didn't do anything. No major characters died in that episode where they fought the Night King. They could have killed off a lot of major characters, but none of them died. They wanted to make it appear like those characters were gonna die, but they never died. Stupid. Cersei wasn't the big bad. Like I thought after the Night King died, well, maybe this is about how humanity is really the most evil thing. Humanity is scarier than some ice walk. But no, she got to die into the arms of her lover. Anyway, man, I'm done with this shit, man. There's nothing else to say. Nothing else that I could say. How do y'all feel about this episode? Is this not the worst finale in television history? Answer that question in the comment section below. I'm your boy Bushido Spirit. Peace the fuck out. And what show would you like me to talk about